Hump Day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake that butt up. It's time to go, baby. It's Hump Day. Welcome to Morning Motivation, y'all. It's your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like-minded individuals, or simply get your day started on the right foot, you come to the right place. And on your way in, go ahead and hit that like button and let me know you're here. Say, what's up? Woo. It's Hump Day, y'all. I know it's hard getting up this morning. But we gotta go. We gotta finish like we started. We gotta finish strong. And if you didn't start strong, you gotta finish strong. And that's the way life goes. Sometimes the hand that you dealt is the hand you gotta play. And not sometimes. Most of the time, all the time. As I often tell the people in my programs or even my children, you can't help. You had no control over the family that you were born into, how you grew up, what happened to you. But what you can control is what you do now. And how you do that is by looking toward the future. Imagining what you want. Dreaming about it. Creating vision boards. Tasting it. Touching it. Getting around people that do it. Studying it. And letting your present actions lead you to that space. And that, my friends, that is pretty much the journey of life. That's the journey of life. We sitting down at this huge poker table. And we have players all around the board. As a matter of fact, there's a whole room. It's like a poker tournament in Vegas. There's tables all across the room, and there's competition. And the people that typically win are the people who have studied the game, people who have learned the game, and people who are willing to take the risks. Sometimes you got to go all in. Sometimes you got to check and let let that bet go past you. But we're all playing the game whether we want to or not. And so today's show is really focused on the future. The future. That's what today's show is really going to be focused on. And it's not just my future, but your future as well, the future of the show, the whole kid and caboodle, as they say.
How you doing, Brother Craig? How you doing?
What up, Craig G? Craig G is first in the building today. We got to drop a bomb for that one. Salute D-Rob, the young guns in the building. So y'all know that this show has been going for a little bit over a year now. And we've had some really interesting topics, some deep topics. D-Rob out here being a gentleman this morning, y'all. So he just walked this fine substitute to her class since she knew. You see, D-Rob is from the South. I call that Southern hospitality. So that chick, yo, allowed you to be first, huh? Yeah, she been giving some grace lately. She been giving a little grace. That's why I rock with her, man. She all right. So I want you to think about it. Staying with the poker analogy. Think about all the times in life where you showed up to a place unprepared. D-Rob wild, bro. Dropping that pimp game. My name is D-Rob. Coach D-Rob, that is. Agent D-Rob. I like it. And so, all the times you showed up and you were prepared, most times you had a good outcome. Sometimes it was nothing you could do. And then other times you showed up not prepared. And of course, when you show up not prepared, it's a struggle. But sometimes things still work out, right? They call it luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. And so what I want to caution everybody on is the luck of the draw is, it's like fool's gold. And growing up especially in my community, I would go through, matter of fact, it was just 2 neighbors down when I lived in this area called West End. And the guy, it was a very small yard, but the guy had like 3-4 cars in the yard. He was always working on the cars. And my dad would call them, bootleg or jackleg mechanics. And these are the people that you would take your car to for the low, get your brakes done, get your oil changed, what have you. And you would hope, that they would get your car back together and you can get it back when they say it. But sometimes it didn't work out that way because they broke something, they forgot to put something back on, and you can't go after them for the money. You can't sue them. They're not an established business. You gambled. Luck of the draw. And so what I want for the people that come to this show, come to this platform, is I want you to not be gambling with your life out there. I want you to be prepared for what's coming. And I say that knowing that I am not the most organized person. I am not the person that's going to have all the plans, the details, all the systems always laid out. But I have an eye toward the future. And I have an organization system, but nobody else can follow it. It's my system because they live in my head and on notes scattered around my desk. And I know what everything is, but if I was to ask somebody to come in and pick up where I left off or to help me, I wouldn't know how to maximize that help because everything lives from here to hear. And so for me, the future is a dangerous place because I stay in the future so much that I don't always reflect on the past troubles, the past hangups. And I don't always appreciate the moment that I'm in because I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm trying to go somewhere. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you future minded. Put a 2 in the chat if you are present minded. Put a 3 in the chat if you past minded. If you are in the past more than you in the present and the future. So 1 of you in the future, 2 of you in the present, 3 of you in the past. Just where you normally gravitate your mind. Do you think about the setbacks, the things you had to overcome, what you didn't get, the opportunities that you missed or didn't have? That's what I would call the person that's in the past. The person that's in the future, they're worried about right now. They can't really see the future too well. They avoid thinking about the past because they're trying to be something new right now. And the person that is, what they say, head in the clouds, that's the future person, the one that's always dreaming of a better thing, a better future, better outcomes, better everything. Which space do you fall into? Which space do you fall into? And I know everybody falls into one category. Ashley, no, it's one. It's almost like a personality style or an attachment style. You fall into one category more so than the others. And so why are you thinking about that? That is one of the primary reasons. Craig G said 1. That is one of the reasons why I focus so heavily in on like personality styles and the attachment styles and goals and visions and things of that nature. Because it's a balance. You have to understand where you came from. And if you can, if it's easy to figure out why things were the way they were and how you relate to life. Once you have a complete picture of those past and present things in your life, now you know how to plan for the future to avoid some of those things. And it has to be an intentional plan. We've talked lately about last week or so about, military versus civilian life versus college life. We talked about, those young adults leaving high school and trying to decide what their next route for them is going to be. We talked about the trap years at 18 to 23, 24. The trap years. Those are the years when so many life-changing things happen. So many life-changing things happen in those years. And if you're fortunate enough to get through those years unscathed, then life becomes more of a mystery because you are starting to wonder, well, what is my purpose? You're starting to wonder, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? You know deep down inside that I should be doing something else. I have a passion for this. I have a passion for that. But it just isn't making sense to you yet. And so you doing jobs and you just working, you just paying the bills. And you realize really quickly, it has to be more to life than this. My youngest son, my 18-year-old, he's worked at his job for about 3 months now. And he's already saying, Pop, this ain't it. This guy, it has to be more. I got to do something. And so when he was like, I don't want to do the military thing. I just don't want people to tell my daughter, I don't want people telling me what to do. Well, they both have done or doing in prop. My daughter, she's been in for about 5-6 years now. But my son is about to go in now. And he's understanding that I have to make a move because I see the patterns. Then it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to have a parent or people in your corner that say, hey, you don't belong here. You need to be doing something else. You need to be doing something a little bit different. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What is that little bit different for you? What is that little bit different for you? And around 30 to 35, those are the questioning years for most people. I would say men for sure, because I'm a man and I know what I went through. But I don't think it's restricted to just men. I think everybody, once you hit about 30, you start to get a new awakening because you've had about 10 years of life experience. You've seen the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs. You've changed a job or two, and you realize that I'm wasting time. What am I doing? What should I be doing? I got to stop doing this. These people aren't for me. This group is not where I want to be in. As I told my son about 3 days ago, if you wake up one day and you see your circle of friends, your circle of influence, and you are the smartest person in that circle, it's probably time to upgrade the circle. And when I say that, I don't mean cast to the side the circle that you have, your day ones. What I mean is you need to also create a new circle of friends that inspire you, that motivate you to want to go further, to do a little bit more. Because it's so easy in life to get stuck. It's very easy in life to find yourself in a neutral position where you just paying the rent, man. That's really all you're doing. You're not super happy about your job. You're not super happy about your life. You're not doing anything exciting in your life. You're just kind of showing up, going to work, going home. Same old, same old. That life get old. We all need a little bit more excitement in our life. And there's no greater journey than being on purpose. There's no more fulfilling feeling than being on purpose. So let's go back to the beginning of the show. When I started this show, my wife and I have been talking about buying a house. We had talked about buying a house, but we was looking, but we wasn't like seriously looking. We had to do some things to our credit. We already knew that. So we had started kind of working on the credit a little bit, but nothing, no major plans. But then October hit and we got more serious about it. And by the end of October, we had found the house that we wanted, the house that we're currently in now. And in that process, we had to look at our past, figure out, okay, what we did wrong, fix the present. If that, regardless of that, is raising the credit score, changing the way we do money. We started this system called velocity banking. And what velocity banking is I'm gonna give it to you in a summary in a nutshell. This is not financial advice, people. It's not financial advice. But we used it to accelerate our credit scores very quickly to qualify above what they were asking for in this credit process, because we made the money to get the house, but jobs were a little, because I'm a freelancer, so it's kind of hard sometimes for freelancers to get large amounts of credit, because as a freelancer, that's not steady income. That's not like dependable income. I can work my butt off for 3 months and then go dry for 4 and not do anything. So we had to make a few moves here and there. So what velocity banking is basically, in a nutshell, I'm not giving you all the details. If you want to, there's plenty of information out there on it. But that is basically opening a line of credit, or if you already have a credit card with a large balance, we would take that credit card, we would pay all of our debts with the one credit card. And then once we got paid, all of our income would go back to pay that credit card off. So in a sense, we paid off or made payments on everything on time, and we replenished that money back to the credit card until we started to pay off this credit card or pay off that credit card, and then our credit score started to go up like within 30 days. Sometimes that's getting a line of credit that would cover everything, and you just pay everything off, and you pay one card. And so now, because all your balances have gone lower, your credit score starts to go up. And this worked like gangbusters for us. We raised our score 60 points, 60, 90 points in like 2 months. I mean, it was ridiculous on how our scores rose. Worked better than we could have thought that it did. But it took a lot of research, which is why I'm saying I just gave you a summary of it. It's a little bit more to it than what I said. So you need to go and do your own research, which is why I say it's not financial advice. It's something that we use for a moment to get us in a position to make some future dreams happen. So then we're in the house. And once we got in the house, we were able to do a PLOC, and we used that to make purchases for the home, whether it was furniture, blinds, things of that nature. Some people buy fences or ceiling fans or whatever. Some people go to Vegas and risk it all. Shout out to those people. I'm not quite wired that way. But shout out to those people, not me. But that's pretty much what we did. And then we go forward. Does anybody know what the word unction mean? There's an unction. You ever had an unction? An unction is like a Bible term for a strong urge, a strong feeling that you must do something. Well, we had an unction about buying our house. And we had been talking about getting houses since we've been together. But it was something about that timing that unction was very strong on both my wife and I's hearts. And so we went out, we found ways to make it happen. Nobody came and gave us anything. Nobody came and opened the door for us. No, we had to decide what we wanted, and we went and we got it. We figured out what needed to happen. And because of that, we were able to, have enough space that my mom could come and spend her last months, with family in a safe environment versus being in a nursing home. Or, being in her house and having falls and accidents and not feeling secure, safe. It allowed us to have space for when our children would come home and or allow them to come home a little bit more because there's a place to go and not just one, a couple could come. Family members coming out of town, we were able to save them money and they could stay with us, My wife's dad came and stayed for like 5 days. Her sister came and stayed for 2 weeks. My daughter comes up from South Carolina because her mom is deceased. So she just has technically one parent that, she can stay with. And so for the future, my future plans was always to be the parent, to have the space where my children had something. I want to leave my children in a better place after I'm gone than, before, when they were born. I want to live a good life with them while I'm still here. And then when I transition to my next phase, that they're in a better position. I want to create that generational wealth, that generational space. D-Rob said, I missed that credit card statement. What was that? It was called velocity banking, bro. Look at some videos online about it. Oh man, what's my guy name? What's his channel? Um, I cannot think of his name right now. But yeah, man, it's basically you're living off of one card. That one card pays for everything. And then every month what you're doing is you're knocking the balance down. If you can pay off some smaller credit cards, that would help too, because now you have more available credit. Now the banks will actually give you more credit because you're using the credit wisely. You may be taking your card to 3/4 or you maxing it out, but every month you paying it off mostly. But you're paying all your bills out of one pot. But every month you're focusing on knocking out a small bill, freeing up that credit. And it makes your credit score goes up. It reports, especially if it reports every 30 days, which most of them should now. And you'll see your credit score begin to just rise. It's not the best long-term strategy because life happens, but for short-term strategies, for us, it worked really, really well. Long-term, you gotta be a little bit more financially savvy long-term. But in the short term, it'll definitely do you good. And so we've done show after show. Started out going. We started out going 5 days a week on this show. But be honest with you, by February, bro, I had so many things happening in my life that I hit this phase where I was just burnt out by February. And so we had to decrease the show down to 3 days a week. I mean, I went back and looked at that 100th episode. Bro, you talking about somebody limping through the finish line? I hit the wall in a big way. D-Rob said, I only have a 600 limit card. I don't have rent or anything yet, but maybe it can go towards phone and insurance and car. What about you, Canada? I mean, yeah. The thing is, man, if you're actually using the card, if you're just paying your bills with that card, the bills that you have, you don't have many bills. But if you're paying the bills you have with that card, and then when you get paid, paying your card off every month, that after about 90 days, you can request a credit increase, and they'll increase your credit. And with that, the more available credits you have, the more credit worthiness you have. And so your credit rating will go up. I mean, there's a lot of strategies out there. That's something we could talk about, offline, because I am not a credit counselor nor am I a financial advisor, and I don't want to lead you wrong. Or mislead somebody who don't understand exactly what I'm saying, which is why I keep throwing all these caveats in there, because if you don't do it right, you can mess yourself up too. So I just want to put that out there. It has to be a strategy and a plan that you know what you're doing it for. It's just like life. You figure out what you want to do and you find ways to make that happen. And so if you're trying to increase your credit, worthiness, then that is one way to make that happen. So I hit the wall around February, and it wasn't I didn't have anything to talk about. I was just burnt out. I was working because I took a job. I wanted to help a friend out, because I'm in video production, and her company she was struggling because she had been sick with cancer, and then she was going through all the chemo, the radiations, and then she recovered. And then she started, you ever been in your car and found out your car losing oil, but you don't see it on the ground, you don't know where it's going, but every time you check your oil, you're like a quart low. Well, that's what was happening in her body. She was losing blood like that. And the doctors couldn't figure out where the blood was going, but she was low on blood. Every time she went in, she was low. And so while they was doing that, she had a heart attack. And so because she was my one of my really good mentors, my really good friends, what up, yo? She was a mentor, a really good friend, and I didn't want to see her company, fall apart. So I stopped freelancing to go help out with her company. And that was actually a really good thing for me because now it gave me a W-2 or a W-2 versus a 1099 for taxes. And because now I have a job, it shows a stable income. So I didn't have to go through that long process of giving 2 years or 5 years of taxes and all these profit and loss statements. So it made the process much easier in buying the house. And so we get to March, April. I'm kind of hitting my groove again, but I'm watching my mom deteriorate. Then my dad passes. So it's like another blow. Another blow. I'm stressed, but we still going in the show. Now we down. I'm like, yo, we got to take it down to 2 times a week. I can't do it, right? I almost thought about letting the show go because it was just so many things happening in my life. But I had a future plan. I knew what I wanted to accomplish. I set a goal that I needed to hit. And so I kept going. And that's why I say to y'all, man, I'm forever grateful because y'all hung in there with me. Y'all rocked with me. The days when I didn't have much to say and I was in the slumps and I just couldn't get my words right. You guys still rock with me. You encouraged me. You just hung in there, man. And it's like you guys, you ladies and guys you guys are not family, most of you, but you are family to me now. And so going through the summers and then I'm walking away from the job and I'm going back to freelancing. But there's one constant thread that I've been doing. As y'all know, I've been doing the parenting and the fatherhood stuff. That's the thing that matters to me. That's the thing that I want to do for the duration. Because I believe if you can change one family's reality by giving the father the tools to be a better father, helping him set the tone for his family, he'll find the spouse, or he'll be able to work better with the spouse that he has, and they'll create some really great kids, some great children. And those children will create great children. Because right now, y'all know, just look around. From the 60s until now, there's been a mass exodus of fathers from the home. And now there's fewer and fewer weddings and marriages that are happening, but children are still being born at a fast clip. In the county that I work in, there's a 48% single parent rate. 48%. And I see it as my children date. I can tell the difference between the other people that my children date. I can tell the ones who they're not used to being around men. They're not used to being around women because they was raised by a dad or raised by a mom and aunties or raised by dad, uncles, and friends. There's a stark difference. And there's a barrier that they can't get over because they were not exposed very much to the other gender, to the other energies. And so now if you look online, there's a whole gender war online right now because people don't know how to get along. People don't understand that we all play a role no matter what relationship we're in. If you're at work, there's a boss, there's a supervisor, there are employees, and they have different roles. In a marriage, there's a father, there's a mother, there are children. They all have different roles. If you go to your schools, there's a principal, there's the guidance counselors, the admin, and there's the teachers. But then there's also a superintendent. There are roles. And the roles have to be agreed upon, which most people today can't agree upon the roles. most companies, organizations, and or relationships, the only ones you're going to find where it's 50-50 is friendships. And friendships are what they are. You're not invested much financially. You don't have to see them every day. You can only talk to them when things are going super good or super bad. But the everyday mundane life, you don't live with your friend group, which is why it's easier to be with your friends. It's easier to be with your friends for that reason. But anytime you go in close quarters with somebody else, a team, a spouse, children, it's a lot of work. It's not easy. Marriage, relationships are the hardest thing you're ever going to do. But if you're not past, present, and future minded and understanding how you fit and what the roles are or the agreements are for that relationship, it's bound to fail. And most people have selfish intentions when they go into relationships. And so they're doomed to fail from the beginning. So now, the show is in a space where once upon a time it was convenient to do the show. It was most convenient to do the show at this time because I didn't have to leave the house most often, before 9 o'clock. Sometimes I didn't leave the house all day. And because my goal was initially, I want to do this show for a year. I want to see if I can do it for a year. Well, that time has come and gone. We are at 11 months now. I think I started September. So no, no. We have 13, 14 months now. And the show is done. It's done decent. It's not had crazy growth or anything, but it has had impact. And that's honestly what I was looking for in the beginning. I wanted to be consistent with something because I knew I had some other things coming down the road. And so now I've hit this space where I am in the process of letting, and I know, follow me. I know you told me not to let it go. I know that chick said, don't let it go, bro. Don't let it go. Keep doing this, the freelance stuff. And so the beauty of freelance, I can always do freelance. I can always go take a gig here or take a gig there. But making it my primary now has to come to an end. It has to, I have to do something a little different going forward. And that different is I am going to go 100% into the company that I created at the end of COVID, Father Figure Institute. And you guys have, I've been talking about it here and there. And I am in the process also of building out another program with the agency that I work with, the Extensions Office. And I just got a proclamation for the mayor declaring December 13th is Supporting Father Involvement Day. We were awarded a grant to go ahead and do a little bit more of that work. I have a staff in place now, and it's requiring me to be in the community way more than I was previously in. And so what I'm talking about is my passion, my purpose for being. My purpose was discovering who I was and then putting it into play. That's why I've talked about that vision, what do you want? D-Rob, bruh, for years, I didn't know what I wanted. I knew I was good at doing A, B, and C, but I didn't know what I was supposed to do with any of that. But I stayed the course. I stayed productive. I kept working, and it stayed in my mind. And I would do things here, do things there. I would connect with people over here. And I just seemed like I was lost for some time. Put a one in the chat if you ever felt like you were just lost on your career journey. on your career pursuits. I want to see if I'm the only one. I just felt from 30 to 40, bro. I really was lost. And so freelancing helped pay the bills because as a freelancer, you can make some really good money in a very short period of time. However, it's fickle. It's temporary. It's not guaranteed to last, and it's not always stable. And so I took the partnerships with the extensions office way back in 2018. Just working 29. I would work with them 29 hours a week. And if I'm being honest, it was not always 29 hours. Sometimes it was 32, sometimes it was 10, 20, 15. Just depends on what was happening. If we had a class in session or whatever. Sometimes we had conferences and I would go to a conference, but I had the availability to do that. And so now for the first time, I'm ready to go full time, full blast into my own company. And it's scary. It's scary because the ball starts and stops with me. And it's not scary because I don't think I can do it. But I've never leaned on me, on my purpose that strongly before. Now, I've took risks. I've done things that was like, whoo, I trust me. I ain't gonna let me down. But now, my family, my way of living, it's all in the bag now. I'm about to go all in on this poker table, keeping up with that analogy I started with. I got all my chips laid in front of me and I'm pushing all in because I'm looking at my hand and I don't think nothing else I got going on is going to beat what's in my hand. Why? Because I have a burning desire. I have a passion. And so I am pushing all of my chips in. I haven't done a side gig, a production gig, a freelance gig in September. September was the last production things that I did. Now I take that back. I did a production gig in this month. However, I booked it back, a few months ago, and they paid in advance. So I haven't booked any new work. I just fulfilled a contract. But I have nothing on my calendar, which is a little scary. I seen a couple of calls come in. I didn't answer the phone because it's time to make that change to go to that next level. I feel it with everything in me. Now is the time for me to go. And so during that period when I was lost, I didn't stop moving. I still did jobs that I didn't want to do, but I had an eye on the future. I knew the direction. I just didn't know the destination fully. And so I know some of you may be struggling with that. You know the direction that you want to go in, but you don't have an exact address. You know you on 85 and you going south, or you on 20 and you heading east, or you on 10 and you heading east, but you don't know exactly how to get. You don't know exactly where you're gonna end up. You don't know if it's South Carolina. You don't know if it's Mississippi. You just know you're moving. So I want to encourage you today to keep moving, keep going, keep doing those things that you love. Saturday, my brother calls me. He's having some equipment challenges, and so I'm at the store. So I got to leave the store, get to the house, and then get to him. And so it was a little bit of a rush because then my daughter had a wrestling tournament over the weekend, which she dominated in. Shout out to Young Breezy one more time. And when I pulled up, and I felt like a proud father because my brother's been talking about photography and things and his passion. And when I go to his house and I look at his office setup and his studio there, and I'm watching him, and I'm proud. I'm getting prouder and prouder because I'm seeing him even though he ain't got all the pieces yet, he's actively doing it. I see him out there in the park taking pictures of families and pets, and I got the best feeling in the world because I'm watching him put his money where his mouth is. I'm watching this be dedicated to something that's not always convenient. He's up and excited for it. When I hear Auntie Canada, Toronto Riggins, forming her women's group, and then to hear about it's growing and she's still doing it. When I hear that chick Yo is out there still getting it, because I know it was a time when she was trying to figure it out, but now she's getting it. When I see a D-Rob leave a state that he was closely familiar with to move to a land that he don't know much about for an opportunity. When I see a brick by brick, and the list goes on and on. When I see the activity, that's why I show up here as often as I show up here. Because I know this show has impact. I know the people that come to this show are about their Father's business. And make no mistake about it, the dream inside of you is in you for a reason. There's a reason you can't let it go. You can't stop thinking about it. There's a reason why you're willing to go through what you got to go through to make it happen. There's a reason why you will invest thousands of dollars, thousands of hours to master this thing. Because that is part of your purpose. That's the thing that gives you life, in a sense. It gives your life a little bit more oomph to it. And what else would you do? If you weren't getting paid to do it, you'd do it for free. Because it's just in you to do it. It's just in you to do it. So what does that mean for me? What does that mean for us? What does that mean for this show? I need my mornings back. I need my mornings back. And so I thought about, should I push the show back to like 8:30, 9 o'clock? I mean, it's still morning time. I can still, morning motivation. The channel, I just named the show Morning Motivation. The channel is Javon Glover Speaks. I mean, most of you probably have known that already, right? So the channel isn't going anywhere per se, but the community, I don't want to lose the community. And so I thought about, we do have a Facebook community. I'm really not super active there, but I very easily could be. But morning motivation as we know it is going to have to change, come to an end, maybe evolve into something else. And so that's where I am right now. Because I really enjoy the community that we have. And I don't want to let that go. When I bring people into my life, I consider them family. And you don't let your family go. You might not talk to them for a while, but they're still your family. And all of y'all have been kind of engrafted into my spirit. I have random conversations. Me and Craig was talking the other day, and I gave him a D-Rob quote. I said, a great brother named D-Rob told me this. Yep. I gave him a D-Rob quote, and he died laughing. Because it's not just information coming one way. I love the feedback. I love hearing you guys' story and your thoughts on things. And so I don't want that to end. However, it's time for my next evolution into the things that I know I'm called to do. So what y'all thinking? Auntie Karen said, we stuck like Chuck. I was hoping you would say that. Because I'm not sure what the next iteration is going to look like. I am not sure. I'm in the planning phase right now, and October, December 13th, I'm going to be doing a live stream. I'm not sure which platform I'm going to do it from though, but I'll let you all know. And it's going to be about a 2-hour stream, and it's going to be about the program supporting father involvement. And I want to bring in other people, talk about their fatherhood experiences. I'm trying to get the mayor to come in and sit down and talk to me a little bit about it, while we on the live stream, because it's going to be a little bit of a promotional thing, but also to give a shout out to a lot of our sponsors and people that grant funders that kind of help us put the program together. And so I want to do that, but that's on that end. But in the meantime, I'm not sure what morning motivation is going to be. I don't want to say this is the last show. I don't want to say next week is the last week, because I don't know. It may just change for a little while and then get back, 6 months from now. So I don't want to say that it's ending. I just want to say that it's changing. And even if we're not here, I want to still be able to go into our Facebook community, go live in the Facebook community, just in the car, because we all drive. We all do long trips, and sometimes just going live in the car, just talking about random stuff, and we can be a little bit more personal in that group, because it's just the group. It's it's not a lot of eyeballs in there, so we could actually talk about some real life stuff. So I would really like that, to pick up that, as we go down the road. But oh, you haven't left yet. I haven't left yet, buddy. Facts, and I really appreciate it. So next week is gonna be the same though. Monday we're gonna have a show. Wednesday we're gonna have a show ahead of Thanksgiving. But going into December, I got so many things happening in December. The month of December might be that transition month. It might be the transition month into the Facebook community, and I have a single focus right now. My whole focus is morning motivation. My whole focus is make sure content is here. Once I shift that to Facebook, I will definitely be more active in Facebook. We'll definitely have more conversations. So if you following us this long and you have not joined the Facebook group, that is probably right now where most of our content is going to be. Shows probably won't be an hour long. It might not even be a show. It'll just be some commentary and some thoughts. We can share some Diddy clips and some Tyson biting his glove clips, or whatever's in the news. We can talk about whatever. We can ask questions and just life updates. We can do a little bit more. Nah, bro, we ain't leaving, dog. We ain't leaving, man. We just changing it for a few minutes, because I'm trying not to go back into burnout, because I know what my mission is. I know what the assignment is, and I have to be faithful to the assignment. But nah, we not leaving, bro. We not leaving. We not leaving. We just transitioning, and we still got to get our meetup in. I'm thinking we're gonna get our meetup in January, so I'm gonna get on everybody's calendar sometime in January, probably MLK weekend is what I'm thinking. MLK weekend. Some of us will have that Monday off, so if we travel on a Saturday, we should be able to get back home and have a little rest. But that's what I've been thinking about. MLK weekend in January will be the morning motivation meetup. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know if that, be looking at y'all calendars. Let me know if that'll work for y'all too. But like I said, we can talk about that in the Facebook group. Because I truly believe big things are on the horizon for all of us. For all of us. Big things are heading our way. And in life, we have to evolve and change and grow as the journey, permits. Sometimes we got to take a few detours. You know what, Auntie Canada? You said, "Am I cooking breakfast?" In meaning, am I cooking breakfast for the meetup? Is that the question? D. Rob said he got news. So if you're asking about me cooking breakfast for the meetup, the answer is yes. Matter of fact, I'll do breakfast and I throw some meat on the grill. Weekend before MLK, the 18th. Matter of fact, we've been rocking for a minute now. I might let y'all come to the crib. I bet. Well, let me. Well, hold on. Let me pump my brakes. Let me talk to the wife before I start inviting 28 people to the crib. Nah, but I'm sure it's good though. But yeah, we've been rocking for a long time, man. We really y'all family. I don't have no problem with any of y'all coming to the crib. Um, the school asked you to MC for the Black History Month. Yo, look at see, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out my boy D Rob. But yeah, no doubt, man. Breakfast, lunch, shoot, we can make a day out of it. Morning motivation, family. I'm gonna give the courtesy to ask, but I don't foresee it being a problem. I don't foresee it being a problem. Um, they do an event every Black History Month and want me to be the MC. Mind you, I only been here 4 months. That was, bruh. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. That's Coach D Rob. Big things in your future, bruh. Pause. A lot of great things. I'm telling you. I've been around long enough to understand there's a lot of people that come around you, but only a few stay. And the few that stay are the few that was supposed to stay. You're gonna go into areas and you're gonna talk to people. Your energy is gonna give life to people. What I said on Monday, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they won't follow. It's just some people we are connected to because whether it's for that season or it's for life, that this person, something about them feeds something in you. Something they have gives you life for your mission, for your purpose. It's people that I've only met one time and I've never forgotten them. And it's people that I was around for 6, 7 years and I didn't like them the whole time and I couldn't wait to get away from them because I wasn't supposed to be with them. I wasn't supposed to be around them. But the people that you're around, the people that bring you in, bruh, supposed to be. Speechless when he asked me. If it's teachers and folks here that feel a type of way because I can't go nowhere on campus without getting love from the students. Hey, bro. Yeah, hey, that's how it be. Auntie Candace said, D, when it's your time, bro, it's your time. Embrace it and go with it. Facts. All facts. You worked hard for it. Bro, you relocated across multiple states to follow a dream. And this is what happens. When you're obedient to your own mission, to your own journey of self-discovery, great things happen. And it's like I talk about relationships being hard. You got to find something or someone that you're willing to go through hell with in order to get to heaven. That's the journey of life. You got to go through a traumatic experience called birth just to get here. You got to go through childhood. Can't change yourself. Somebody got to feed you. Just to grow into your adulthood, to find your own purpose, your own success. That's the way life goes. And the bigger the risk you take, the greater the reward there is on the other side. So I don't mind taking risks. I don't mind doing things that people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, bro, I'm trying to get somewhere. And this is going to get me to my path. DJ, I'm gonna tell him about cat heifer spray. Hey, bro, you better look. You better trademark that first. You walk around, somebody gonna have some cat heifer spray shirts on that you ain't authenticate. You didn't authorize. What time is it? Oh, yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, next week we're gonna be, same bat time, same bat station, going into Thanksgiving, and we'll, figure it out after that. But I got an early meeting. I got a 9:30 quarterly meeting with a funder, so I need to go and get myself ready to get up out of here. But yeah, man, the future, the past, and the present. We gotta have that balance in dealing with them all. We gotta look at where we've been, what we've been through, to determine what we really want the end result to be. Where do we want to find ourselves one day? That's the future. And so now, in the moment today, what can I do to get me closer to the future that I want? So you're not ignoring your past. You're not living in the future. All you have is today. All you have is this moment. Tomorrow never comes because every day is today. You can't get yesterday because it's history. So focusing in on the present. The present is the gift, right? Present, gift, get it. However, you can live today for the future that you want. Start taking those steps. Embrace the opportunities as they come. Don't be afraid to fail and make mistakes. It's part of the journey. You're supposed to fail. That's how you grow. That's how you learn. And you make adjustments as you go. There is no roadmap for life. It's the roadmap it's the map that you're creating as you go. You're like a pioneer, creating your life from start to finish. And you were given a map. And some of those maps, there's a lot of mountains. You gotta dynamite some stuff. And in those maps, there's a lot of swamps. You gotta build bridges over. But you have all the tools you need to do it all around you. The help, the resources, everything is there. You just gotta go find it and make it happen. All right, family. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great rest of the week. Finish strong. Be kind to yourself, love one another, and remember, when you change the way you see things, the things you see change. Y'all be blessed, have a great week, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.